Welcome, fellow fans of Clash of Clans. It is your host, Galadon, and we have been following the craziest Town Hall 6 in Clash of Clans. Join me as we track his journey towards Legend League, and subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video. But right now, that's right, a Town Hall 6, and he is striving for Titan 1. He is in Titan 2 right now and closing in on 4,600 trophies. So we're going to show some of his attacks today as well and talk a little bit about his experience in Clash of Clans. Now, for the most part, he's getting hit by Town Hall 12s, and they're pretty much crushing him, obviously. Now, what's funny is to look at the different ways that Town Hall 12s approach this Town Hall 6. So yes, they are double his level in Town Halls. Some players, like the Smurf here, they just drop in a couple of heroes and get the job done. They don't need to completely overwhelmingly crush his base. But for some reason, I don't know if it's because players are on autopilot, or they're not really paying attention, or they just don't know the defensive capability of a Town Hall 6. You will see players that come in and pretty much overwhelm Nerdy's base. So talk about a waste of units. Yeah. So the rage spells, the haste spells, I mean, it's a full-on Lalo on this itty-bitty Town Hall that really just a maxed out King and Queen could completely crush. So your guess is as good as mine for why these players decided to waste an entire army on a Town Hall 6. And yes, so Town Hall 12s can find Town Hall 6s when they're attacking, but Town Hall 6s cannot find Town Hall 12s, which is kind of interesting. Just so you know, according to Nerdy, the lowest Town Hall he can possibly find would be a Town Hall 4, 2 Town Halls below him, and the highest, a Town Hall 9. So you can imagine how bad the clouds are for a Town Hall 6 that is in Titan 2. You can literally imagine. Can you literally imagine? Or you can imagine that literally there are only a handful of bases. There probably aren't that many players that he could even find. But on the opposite side of the coin, there are plenty big players that can find him, like this Legend League player who decided that he needed pretty much his entire Electro Dragon army to take out Nerdy's base. And so again, it's interesting to watch the amount of units that are dropped on this poor little tiny Town Hall 6. I mean, at least he didn't drop his heroes. I mean, at least there's that. You didn't see the heroes come in here, and he saved his spells. So just, about 8 Electro Dragons come in and crush Nerdy one more time, and Elite Nerdy ends up losing, luckily, only 9 trophies, because again, these are Legend League players, and they're finding him. He's almost never going to be a whale unless he's found by another lower level Town Hall that's pushing trophies. And as you know, there's a whole community of these players that do this for fun. And yeah, when they find each other, it's interesting. When they find each other, it can either be really, really bad in that it's a whale and they get a bunch of trophies, or it could be really good in that they gift the other person trophies. And that very rarely happens. Although Nerdy did show me this screenshot. This was a defense from a Town Hall 12 in Legend League that gifted him 33 trophies. But you tell me, we're going to watch some of Nerdy's attacks now, but you tell me, if you were to find Nerdy and you were pushing trophies, what would you do? Would you hit him for 1 star and be nice? Would you give him a shield and your trophies? Or would you just wreck his base mercilessly and walk away with everything in the dust? I don't know. Personally, I would probably go ahead and take the L just once, just to watch a player like this push as high as possible. Now, if it were like a Town Hall 9 pushing, maybe not quite as impressive as a Town Hall 6, definitely worth, I'm saying, a sacrifice once in a while. So, okay, so let's check out how difficult it is, because a lot of players are like, that's impossible. How does this possibly happen? I've heard of players that talk about pushing into Titan as hard as a Town Hall 9. So you can imagine as a Town Hall 6 how much harder it is. And then not only that, but if you're a Town Hall 6 and you're hitting these higher level bases like you're seeing on the screen right here, you're also doing your best to get 2 stars when you can. So 1 star on a base like this, maybe not impossible, not that difficult, because as you can see, you can just pick off the outer structures. When you get up to the Town Hall 9s, that's going to be much more difficult, and we will show that in a second. But check out Nerdy right here as he closes in on the 1st star for damage, but is focused on getting to that Town Hall and getting the 2nd star, because this is basically a whale when it comes to lower level Town Halls pushing. To find something like this is a very, very rare instance. So Nerdy trying to make the best of it with just basically a barge army, the lightning spells. Again, we'll take a look at some other attacks and you'll see exactly what he's doing with the lightning spells. Because yes, he absolutely needs every piece of help possible, and that includes good troops in his clan castle. But right here, the barbs and the archers have completed, in essence, a funnel. They've gotten their way in, and they're going to grab that town hall for a second star. 52%. Now, Nerdy, often he told me, will continue to attack at this point because he wants to do the other players the favor of giving them the additional shield that comes at 60%. So when he can, he does do that. In this case, well, didn't quite work out, but 58%. But he was trying to be nice. You could see that, and obviously the defending player will be able to see that later, that Megatron, the Town Hall 8, he was trying to be nice to him. Okay, so here's another one. Similar situation, and watch specifically what happens. You'll notice that these players oftentimes have their town hall near the outside. Also notice the mortars, because the mortars, that splash damage right there, that's what he's going to be trying to take out with the lightning spells. And luckily, again, lower level mortars, lower level lightning spell, it works out well. And if he gets rid of that splash damage, which would otherwise annihilate his barge, then he can usually get those outer structures down for 50%, and if possible, if the town hall isn't right smack in the middle, get to it with the rest of his army and grab the second star and pick up the big win. Well, okay, big win is all relative. Whale is relative to where you are in trophies and that sort of thing. We will go ahead and wrap this attack up. You'll notice he's bringing baby dragons in the clan castle. I think that's probably a good idea. I don't know, maybe balloons might work out, but then again, you're going strictly for damage. You want a high-level troop that is going to go after every structure, not just defenses. And did you happen to notice the defensive Valkyries in the defensive clan castle? Look at these Valkyries just annihilate everything in their path. Now, Valks in and of themselves are very strong units, but when you put these higher level Valks against little baby level 3 barbs and archers, it does not end well for them. And they are just they're turning into liquid elixir instantaneously. All right, so let's move on to another one. Here's a player, and this is very common. This is the please take my loot, but don't take my trophies base. And of course, if it were a higher town hall player who is farming, maybe they would do that. In this case, obviously, Nerdy is going for that town hall easy grab at the bottom of the base, and then the percentage up at the top with all of the storages, pumps, mines, that sort of thing. And for good measure, again, making sure he gets to 50%, and when he can, pushing for 60, so he takes out one of the splash damage mortars with the lightning. And again, you can see he still has about 75 ground units. They're going to come in, pick off the rest of these outer structures. Wall breakers getting in there, they still get the job done, and easily picking up the 50%, and again continuing on, getting to 60% and giving his fellow low-level town hall trophy pusher a slightly longer shield. Now, you'll notice that the bases that Nerdy has been attacking so far in this episode are not really that challenging. I mean, when you're hitting a Town Hall 7 or 8 and you're a Town Hall 6, not really that hard to grab the star or the 2 stars. But what about hitting a well-defended but also trophy-pushing Town Hall 9? So you'll notice he's got, again, the take my loot, let me have the trophies base. But it's a well-protected Town Hall 9 with a lot of very well upgraded. In fact, is that completely maxed out? Almost. Not completely maxed out, but close to it. A tough Town Hall 9. So Nerdy knows, even with all of these structures, with this tons of loot that is, remember, going to waste because Nerdy's stuck at Town Hall 6. Even with all those structures on the right-hand side, he's going to be really not that close to 50% after he gets them down. So this is a very careful plan. He has to be careful because it's not unheard of for these lower town hall players to fail on a base just like this. So he's going to be focusing on low hit point structures. So watch for things like builder huts, camps, and even the heroes' little pads, thrones, homes, what do you call that? What do you call the thing? Is it a hero's altar, I guess? I don't even know. Whatever it is, there are some of the lowest hit point structures in the game. So Nerdy already starting to pick those off from the right-hand side, working left, 28%. And he told me that you could really sweat this sometimes if you're not careful, because you have to be very selective about where you drop your units. At the bottom of the screen, there goes the baby dragons out of the clan castle. They're going to get a few structures down as well, just out of range of the air defenses. But a Town Hall 9 Expo versus a Town Hall 6. Okay, that's not a Town Hall 6 troop, but Anyway, it's out of the clan castle. Technicality. Okay, let's move on. 40%. So he's getting close, and you can see he's going to hit about 45 or so just with the storages and the loot on the right-hand side. Here comes lightning, and check out the lightning taking down the heroes, the kings, the hero, what the, I don't know, altar, whatever. Tell me in the comments what you call it, and then I'll call it that from now on. Whoever one gets voted up the most, I will call it that in future episodes. Okay, let's move on. So there's 50%. He did get to it. Notice he's not giving up. Again, the respectful attempt at 60%. Not going to happen here against the Town Hall 9, but he does get to 51, 52% or so. 51. Okay, so not in close. But check it out, 14 trophies. That is a big take for a Town Hall 6, pushing in Titan 2, trying desperately to get to Titan 1 and beyond. So 2 things down in the comments. Let me know, A, what you would do if you found his base, and B, just how far do you think he can go? Titan 1, or do you think he has a chance at Legend League? Personally, I don't know. All right, thank you guys again for watching all the way to the end of the episode. You guys are, of course, the true hashtag GalaFam. I appreciate your time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share with your friends, and above all else, have a fantastic rest of your day. Be kind to animals, planets, and the people, and this planet. And I'll see you guys back here again tomorrow for more full attacks.
Galadon, tell him to go to Town Hall 12, and then he can join my clan.